So then we work through it while it's live, and then by the following day, we'll be ready to roll in the new system. So, that's why we need those days closed. Fortunately, we were able to get it around the holiday, and it's slow here during the holiday time anyway. So, we would appreciate your support with that, so we can move the city in the future.
Any questions? Yes.
This is great news, by the way, and, just in case, will we be able to notify the residents, since our doors will be closed here, and you never know, someone might have a payment or, don't want any delinquencies, and while, our doors are closed, will we notify the residents?
Well, of course, so we're gonna be continually notifying them through every time we have a city council meeting. And then also it'll be on the website, and then we'll post it on the sign outside, and then we'll have a sign on the door. By every means available to us, we will communicate that. Hopefully, I don't know if we'll get them all, but hopefully we'll get as many of them as possible.
And the drop-off box will still be open?
The drop-off box is still open.
Still have-
Yes,
still have
absolutely.
option.
Yes. Thank you.
Yes.
I have full confidence in all of your staff, yourself included, IT department, and everybody in finance and all throughout the city, that you're gonna adapt this. Of course, there are things that people need to do new stuff, but I've always known the agencies in the city of Wayne to be flexible and professional, and I wish you well with it. I hope you'll have a nice time in the training.
Thank you, appreciate it.
Oh, shit.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you.
Item 5C, approval of the National Public Works Proclamation for the week of May 17th through May 23rd, 2026.
Move to approve, Lawrence.
Support, Moss. Is there music with us?
No music. But I would be happy to read. National Public Works Week Proclamation, May 17th through May 23rd, 2026. Rooted in service, powered by community. Whereas public works professionals focus on infrastructure, facilities, and services that are of vital importance to sustainable and resilient communities and to public health, high quality of life, and well-being of the people of the city of Wayne. These infrastructure, facilities, and services could not be provided without the dedicated efforts of public works professionals who are engineers, managers, and employees at all levels of government and the private sector who are responsible for rebuilding, improving, and protecting our nation's transportation, water supply, water treatment, and solid waste systems, public buildings, and other structures and facilities essential for our citizens. It is in the public interest for the citizens, civic leaders, and children of the city of Wayne to gain knowledge of and maintain an ongoing interest and understanding of the importance of public works and public works programs in their respective communities. The year 2026 marks the 66th annual National Public Works Week sponsored by the American Public Works Association. Be it now resolved, I, John P. Racy, Mayor, do hereby designate the week of May 17th through May 23rd, 2026 as National Public Works Week. I urge all citizens to join with representatives of the American Public Works Association and government agencies in activities, events, and ceremonies designed to pay tribute to our public works professionals, engineers, managers, and employees, and to recognize the substantial contributions they make to protecting our national health, safety, and advancing quality of life for all.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Didn't get a certificate?
Item number 6, administration reports.
City manager,
Thank you.
you got more?
Actually, I'm gonna defer to, Clerk Parnell to give an update on the election.
Thank you, City Manager Webb. Good evening, City Council. So the filing deadline has passed, and I would like to announce the names of the candidates that will appear on the August 4th ballot. Alfred Brock, John Hicks, Kathy Lawrence, Elizabeth Street, Brett Masick, Laura Street, DeVincent McFarland, Glenwood, Matthew P. Mulholland, Clark Street, Donald L. Quarles, Howell Road, and Shannon Roshan, Marigold Place. These 7 candidates will appear in the August election. 6 of these candidates will move forward to the November election, where 3 seats will end up being filled. There are also, Director Jody Wallach mentioned, there's also the library millage on the ballot. This list is posted on the city's website as well as in the hallway. Or if you have any questions, please stop by the clerk's office. That's all, thank you.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. In the last meeting, there was a couple of questions, most of which I tried to answer as I went through the budget presentation. There was only really one that was outstanding, that really didn't have much to do with the budget or items covered in the budget. And that had to do, again, with the matter of campaigning. And administrative people being involved in campaigning. I personally, as a city manager, do not get involved in local election campaigns. I have expressed that from the day I was interviewed, and I've held to that for the 2.5 years that I've been here. That does not preclude people from being involved supporting candidates of their choice. Just because they're employees of the city doesn't mean that they can't support who they support. The only thing is it's illegal to do it in city offices with city resources around city time. So just for the record, I wanted to clarify that. And that's the way it is in every unit of government. But on people's own personal time, they have a right to do what they want to do as it relates to supporting whatever candidates they want to support. Thank you.
Thank you.
Moving the agenda on to public comments for matters not on the agenda. Public comment is conducted in accordance with applicable laws. Public comment is limited to 3 minutes, which will begin when the speaker approaches the podium, unless the time is extended by a majority vote of the city council. All public comment shall be directed to city council and they shall not respond. Public comment shall not be disruptive. Any violator of public comment procedures may be ordered to be seated immediately or removed by the chairperson of the meeting or the chairperson's designee.
Okay, any public comments for matters not on the agenda this evening? Any public comment for matters not on the agenda? Yes. I'm sorry, we should call it.
You're fine. Thank you. I'll just take this opportunity to share some upcoming library programs with you. If you missed yesterday's chair yoga at the library at 10:30, do not despair. It's coming back every Monday this month, so come join us at 10:30 for chair yoga. Tomorrow, we have our adult book club that's meeting at 6 p.m. The adult book club meets every other month, and we have free books that you're able to pick up to read ahead of time for the meeting. If you want to speed read Chevy in the Hole before tomorrow, you're welcome to come join and discuss. Otherwise, the book club will meet for the next time in July when they will be reading Jurassic Park. We have a dinosaur-filled summer planned. And finally, tomorrow evening at 6 o'clock, we have a Bugs family story time. So we'll be moving and grooving like happy bugs and making little toy bugs and sharing a lot of bug-centric stories with little ones. So this is for families with children 5 and under. Thanks.
Thank you. Anyone else with public comment on matters not on the agenda this evening? Any other public comment?
Good evening, everybody. How is it going? I hope you're all doing well. So April 30th just happened. Judge Plakas at the 35th District Court, he erased all of the iChat, the inaccurate iChat information. The city of Wayne had me charged with had my disposition as a felony, which is odd. considering it was an alleged ordinance violation. So judge saw right through that. I've been completely vindicated. I've beaten, I've gotten all the charges erased, and it's time for the 1983 Monell. Time to see why the city of Wayne why I tickled their fancy so much, why they wanted to break into my house 5 times without a warrant. We're gonna figure that out. But May 9th through April 30th to 26th, so 51 weeks of hell that I had to endure for the privilege of living in this zip code. So I decided, well, don't threaten me with a good time, guys. I really am a kinky guy, and so I decided, you know what? We're gonna run for office, and didn't take me long to get all those signatures. It took me a couple hours. And I went to the east side too, so I didn't even do it in my own neighborhood. So, but anyways, I have a permit, conveniently enough. This is issued through Eagle. This is a permit number WRP 048750 V.1. So this is Zook Pond, John Zook Jr. We're gonna keep his memory alive. Of course, the city of Wayne would love to brush that one under the rug, but we're not gonna allow that. So this permit gives me permission, as you guys, I'll of course provide a copy to the city clerk. This is actually your copy, but authorized activity, excavate 1,667 cubic yards of material from 0.14 acres of wetland to construct a pond. The project is located on the south side of Glenwood Road and west of Newburgh Road in the city of Wayne, Wayne County. All work shall be completed in accordance with Eagle approved plans and specific conditions of this permit. So, ball's in the city of Wayne's court. I know the city of Wayne has a pond ordinance, but it doesn't reference any permit scheme. So I know we had a contention, me and the city manager here, she had said that they were gonna classify it as a pool, which I would love for them to do that. That would be another great lawsuit. So please do that if you feel so inclined to call a pond a pool. I'm sure Bosnick, he'll guide the city along in another malicious prosecution, a waste of taxpayer money. But I do have a question. I do want to know how much money was spent on the people of the city of Wayne versus McFarland. How many dollars did that, from May 9th to April 30th, how much money did that cost the Wayne taxpayers? That's my question for you, Diane Webb. And with that, I will end it. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Michael.
Good evening again. Something that hasn't been talked about for a while, I'd like to get an update on rededication of our Veterans Peace Memorial. I think that's important. And I sent an email, I know to the city manager, to mayor and council. I know, Mayor Lacy, you got it because I got a response. Our ordinance officer, Brandon Braun, he's phenomenal. There was, in my email, there was a eviction or something on my street at the corner of Fourth and Hill. Tons of stuff, just, it's spilling over in the road, sidewalk was blocked and everything. I messaged or called Brandon Braun, and I went to do a couple errands. I came back completely spotless. So he's doing a fantastic job, and he's a true asset to this community. Another update, I had Haley from Wayne County Appraisal, her and a young gentleman came out to my home on April 29th to verify, patio blocks in the backyard, they're gone. And also, and I still encourage every homeowner to contact Wayne County Appraisal to get a copy of your tax sheet, because when Haley and this gentleman came out, they did remeasure my deck on the back of my house. There was an error made. I know we're all human, but my gripe right now is it's not gonna be taken care of until next year's assessment. So right now, I'm paying for somebody else's mistake that I don't think that's justifiable. You get what I'm saying? But I just want to, those are the things I want to bring up, the update on our Veterans Peace Memorial rededication, and very appreciative to Ordinance Officer Brandon Braun. Thank you.
Okay, anyone else? Anything, public comments for matters not on the agenda this evening? Anyone else? Seeing none, can we please move the agenda?
Comments from members of city council.
Councilman Quarles.
Thank you, Mayor. A couple things. Dave, just so you know, I was up north, you were talking about letting the residents know of what's recyclable. I think Kathy, you said that. I was up north and I was on their public, I forget where I was, on their public channel. And they had a little video, about a 1.5-minute video, 2-minute video. And they kind of went through with the garbage collection and they showed what was able to be recycled. I found it very informative. Just an idea, maybe you get a hold of Priority One and maybe create a video and put on our public channel. Just a thought. Just want to say, what a great thing. We can't have the splash pad, but we're getting a huge playscape. I think that's a great trade-off for the splash pad to a playscape that is for all kids. And being able to bring autistic kids, being a grandparent of autistic kids, it's going to be very cool to have a playscape with those abilities. For those that have Xfinity, Channel 7 is back on. General Hospital is now going to be able to be watched on Channel 7. When I left, it's back on Xfinity. It was gone for a while. Was able to attend the Wayne Westland baseball parade with John, with the mayor and the mayor of Westland. And I have to say, John outbeat the mayor of Westland with the throw. He did a better job, just saying. Just want everybody to know, I was witness to it. And then Saturday, I attended the Garden City baseball parade. I've got grandkids in that program. And if you've never been able to attend the Garden City, they do it up. I mean, they knock it out of the park. Seriously. There was 5 council members there, the mayor was there, I mean, the whole city staff was there. It was amazing. It is every year, I go every year. And the parade is to die for. So I want everybody to know, when these things come up, attend them as residents. Get out, even though you don't have kids in the program, let's get out there and attend for our youth. And lastly, I just want to say thank you to Dave for all you do. Lori and the rest of the staff, thank you for all that you do for our city. You guys are amazing. The chief at the police station, just a great guy. So that's all I got. With that, I'll pass.
Wow. Thank you. Councilman Dow.
Thank you, Mayor. First, I want to ask a question I may have not heard on this matter on the voting, early voting at the police station. Is that?
Not days of early voting.
Okay, I knew it was, I didn't hear it, but I wanted to make sure it was available, for the August election. First and foremost, condolences to the Ditmore family. It's never easy to lose somebody. And unfortunately, funerals have a tendency to bring people together and hopefully celebrate life. Going through this and the critical things that I wrote down, there's some bragging points for the administration, no doubt. The re-amortization of MERS again is critical to our annual outlook every year. And to get it kicked down a little further for us is, vital. So I thank you for everybody involved to get that taken care of. And then on the heels of that, the bond rating, moving back into the favorable financial status from being in the cellar and unfavorable in financing. I really look forward to the BAA3 rating moving back to an A1 or A2 while I'm on council. And lastly, the 2 bonds that are within striking distance of being satisfied by 2028
only leaving the water bond is fantastic. I personally am not somebody that thinks bonding your way out of debt is the way to go. The city has never, well, I should say, in the current status, the city is not a city that just tries to bond our way out of satisfaction. And I, as long as I sit here, I'll be overly critical for anything that's bond related. With that, I will pass.
Councilman Dow, I'm sorry, Councilman Darwish. Are you good? You get to go again? Councilman Darwish.
Thank you, Mayor. Just to touch a point on Councilman Coral's, we can also add that video to our YouTube if priority were to make something like that, so that would be great. And then, City Manager, thank you for that report and your entire administration. You know, it's not easy to put something together like that, and you know, thank you for that budget, because it helps us, you know, structure and it sees where we make our savings, and it's not easy to put something like that together. So I wanna thank you and your staff, and I wanna thank DPW and all the department heads. That's all I got, thank you.
Glaze, glaze, glaze.
Councilman Lawrence.
Wanna thank Dave, I know he did a lot of work on that rubbish contract, and I know what it takes to put it together, so thank you very much, it was very detailed and really appreciated. Diane, your presentation was amazing. It was very informative, so, thank you, I appreciate that. All the staff that were involved, I know they also had a lot of work to do. I know what you do, so, thank you all. And then, I think that's about it. Oh, driving to school. Driving to school in the morning has made me realize how many deer are in the city. So please slow down and watch out. On the way to school one day, I said, look, 7 deer and a turkey. So now we have the turkeys we have to contend with also. So just be alert, and that's all I have for now.
Councilman Ross.
Start with the same thing, prayers for the Ditmore family, I'm sorry for your loss, and never easy. So moving on to some other things, downtown cleanup was really great, thank you to the Rotary for putting it together, for DPW, they were all over the place, every time I threw down a bag, they were picking it up, so really appreciate that, they weren't sitting around, that was really great. Appreciate everyone who came out to do that with us, it's just really needed, and I'm always impressed to see how many bags are getting thrown out, so. Thursday is the day of prayers, so if you haven't found your place to go and pray that day, or you're just gonna be praying at home, I just wanna make sure everyone knew about that. The budget, that's just a huge endeavor, and thank you to our whole staff. You guys have to have a weight off you, like, yes. So, thank you for what you did there, that's great, and we know it's a lot of work, and you're dealing with a little bit of money, and trying to do a lot with it, so thank you. The recycling thing, I really am excited about that. I spend a lot of time going to our recycling center, so that being in my backyard, I'm just gonna throw the boxes in there. Amazon, you know, can keep coming then now. My daughter wouldn't have them coming anyway, but, you know, whatever. And then, Public Works Week, you know, everyone, Dave just wondering when the picnic is, and let me know. Or we should bring something over, you know, really wanna make sure you guys know we appreciate you. And then, Mr. Blackwell, I did wanna say, I did see that email. And I'm sorry I didn't respond, but I appreciate that you, you know, we're talking about how well Brandon brought it up, and I appreciate you letting us know, so.
Glaze,
And with that, I'll pass.
glaze.
Mayor Pro Tem.
I want to let everyone know that last week I took a walk down here by the river in County Park, and I saw a fish. And I will attest that I believe that it's one of the fish that the children released last year. So they stuck around, and it was appropriately larger. Still pretty small. So, about 2.5 years ago, my daughter and I placed a Virginia spruce here in the city of Wayne. And when we started, it was only about 18 inches tall. And now, it is 6 feet tall. So it likes living here. It's called a Virginia because they saw it over there first and they didn't realize there was a whole bunch of others. But anyway, then Virginia comes up again. Now, last week, I visited Monroe, where they were having an Earth Day celebration while we were cleaning up here downtown. I had to go and service for Gleaners, so I represented the Gleaners down there. And we spoke to Eagle, and Eagle sent us a Virginia pine and 5 hickories. So then we had a location where some ash trees had come down, the Asian ash trees, right, which have departed, right? So now we have some that are being replaced with native trees right at that location. One last tree thing, I was hiking yesterday along the north edge of the River Rouge, right? And I accessed that behind the high school. There's a path, a very nice path down there, and then the path ends, you can't go too much farther. And now I'm going to introduce the Deer Inquiry. The Deer Inquiry continues. I have some very nice photographs from citizens. If you could please continue sending them. If you know anyone has photos of them, we're gathering them so we can identify the species and perhaps find some way to impact them or change their behavior or do something with them or send someone to talk to them. Anyway, we did find though, while we were going along the north route, that there are blockages for them that would naturally lead them to go up into people's yards. So that would be a big deal. So we'll talk about that later. And then I just want to say, I think the software update that you all are going through is going to produce advantages for all of us and benefits for everyone in the city. So thank you very much.
Thank you. First, I want to start off, I want to thank our city manager and DPW. I have had a few different residents ask for things this week, and I'm just going to read one of the responses that I got for one of them. We had an issue, I think it was probably with the lead lines, that there was issues with fixing the outside of their home, that the grass didn't grow over the winter. And they contacted me, and they sent me a response after that. It said, thank you so much for your response and referring this to the correct party. There were folks at my house this morning working on my yard. I didn't expect help so quickly. Thanks for your assistance and kindness in doing so. I appreciate you very much. So refreshing to see this. My family and I appreciate your support in helping to improve our home. Take care and have a great weekend. But that's the kind of stuff that it matters, and that it happened very fast, and I got that response like the next day. So thank you. Got a chance to got a call or a text that they were having girls flag football at Wayne Memorial, which so there's a girls football league that's fairly new, and it was really good. You know, I know Councilman Dowd's not gonna be happy, but Wayne beat Glenn twice in a row, and which is great news for us. But yeah, it was really good. It was very competitive, and Wayne won again. Their second game, they played Glenn twice, like I said, 24-12. So very, very cool. Councilman Wass mentioned the National Day of Prayer. There's actually a Wayne event on Thursday at New Life Church at 7 p.m. if anybody would like to attend that. There's multiple churches getting together there. And I'm gonna just go ahead and give the update so that you won't have to do this next meeting. The question was asked about the Peace Memorial. There really isn't an update other than there's been a company was talked to, and they're working on designs to present to us to figure out where to go from there. So at this point, there is no their date. I know we're trying to get it done this year, but we don't have there's nothing set in stone on that yet. So, and then I just want to briefly mention, it was mentioned about the Gowdy Park in the DDA report. That was a tough one, but I think all in all, I think that the city's going to wind up with a better thing to bring kids year round to the community. I'm part of the DDA, so I got to hear what the DDA members, I waited to hear what everybody had with that. And, I think having a destination, playground is really gonna enhance this park even more, because you're gonna be able to use it all year round, when the weather permits. I do think Gowdy's a little small for what we're trying to do, and when you have that limited amount of money, when you're split the two things, I really do think it makes an impact. But we're gonna move forward with that, and just try to continue to make Gowdy Park, and look at all of our parks in the future, how we can make them better and enhance them. So I appreciate everybody's work on the project, and look forward to seeing where we get to. There was a meeting last week, and so the company that was selected is working on some designs for the DDA to look at, and once they approve something, then it'll come to council so that you see where things are at. But I think it'll be pretty exciting, and hopefully that everybody will embrace. So with that, can I get a motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn.
Support. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries.
John, oh, just so everybody knows, John get out for a phone.
Yeah, Kevin Coleman's too busy running a city.
How you doing, young lady? You said something.
Too busy.
At the city council meeting one time, you said, oh, I'll get hold of Wow for you, remember that?
Yeah, let's go check the bulletin board real quick, guys. Hey, look, there's that scumbag that murdered John Zook Jr. Hey, guys, let me get a picture of him. Let me get a picture of the idiot. The May 9th trespasser on my property, multiple times trespasser. Check him out, guys. Get a good view of that scumbag pig. Get a good view of that scumbag cuck. Yeah. Anytime, Hype Center, anytime, guys. Anytime you guys want to go to the Hype Center, let me know. Chumpzilla. Chumpzilla, that's what you are. Cuck bitch. Yeah, there you go. Get a good look at that. Murders disabled veterans. Yeah, real nice guy. Breaks into their properties too without warrants. Real nice guy. Real nice guy. Isn't he? Oh, didn't he win the officer of the year, didn't you? Michigan, what was it? Michigan Police Association? Yeah, that's what happens in Wayne, Michigan, guys. That's what happens in Wayne, Michigan. You violate people's rights, you get awarded for it. You get promoted like Caldwell did, and you get awards for it. Right? Officer of the Year, Elziati, as well as this dirtbag. And then we got Elzabadi too, yeah. There's his boss right there who solicited the false petition. You're getting sued for that. You know that, right? You know you're getting sued for that, right? You know the city of Wayne's getting sued for that false petition, right? You guys know that? You guys know you're getting sued for that false petition? You guys know that, right? Just so you know. Just so you know. Let's see if they fixed my name or not. Let's see if they got my name fixed. They don't know each other though, guys. They just kiss each other. They don't know each other. There it goes. Look, hey, they fixed it. There they go. Hey, they fixed it finally. Cool. Yeah. City of Wayne, Michigan, where we falsely petition people and then we trespass them from the polling place. Hey, city manager, I got you live. I got a question. Where else can you vote in Wayne? The Hype Center, that's the only polling location, right? Yeah. It's interesting. Interesting stuff, guys, isn't it? Interesting stuff. I gotta say. Check them out, guys. Check it out. Where's Donald Quarles? He's scared. He's the fake cop right here. He's the fake cop. The fake cop. That's what you are. You better worry about that blood pressure, though, boy. You're not going to be around very much longer. You're not going to be around very much longer with that blood pressure. Why are you red? Why are you so red? Yeah.
Do you like living here?
I don't like living here with you.
I don't like living here with you either,
No,
sir.
I don't.
But do
I'm
you
glad you
like
said that
living
on
in
the
our
record.
city?
What's that?
Do you like living in
Oh,
our
I
city?
love the people of Wayne.
Okay.
I just hate the government.
Okay, good.
I detest you. Detest you.
See you guys
So
later.
red though. Look how red he is, guys. He's so red, like Larry the Lobster.
This is what you are. This is what you are now, buddy.
Well, thank you.
He's a veteran killer. You better watch out for him. He's the murderer of John Zook Jr. And then he violated my rights, broke into my house.
Meeting's over, Mr. McFarland.
Is it? Well, I'm not the only one in here, am I?
The meeting's over.
I'll be the last one out. Yeah, I'll decide when I leave. I'll decide when I leave. I'll decide when I leave. I don't need your help.
The meeting is over.
Okay, well, I'll be the last one out of the meeting.
Okay, that's fine. It's time
Yeah,
to-
okay, well, I'm glad you said that's fine. So I'll be the last one out. When everyone else leaves, I'll leave with you. It's no worries. We're all friends, right? We're all friends, aren't we?
Mr. Osborne, that's you too. Don't
Yeah,
have to-
I'm waiting. Miss.
Soliciting false petitions against veterans.
Okay.
What a legacy, guys. What a legacy, isn't it?
City clerk gets
Such a
angry
legacy,
when I
isn't
put
it?
everybody out.
Yeah. Criminality out in the open.
We know that.
Gotcha.
Okay, he knew that.
Criminality out in the open,
So he
guys.
said, you're right.
Hey, I'm glad you fixed the bulletin board. Thank you for that.
The only one
Appreciate that.
that's left, and he just told me.
I'm sure that was an accident.
I know, but
It was an accident, right?
maybe we can have it.
Do they even have a conscience? No. Nobody here has a conscience. Nobody here has one.
Probably predates me.
Yeah, nobody here really has one.
Oh,
There you go.
yeah, yeah.
No,
I-
part of their government contract, they have their franchise.
Okay.
Light switch,
Yeah,
clock,
yeah, we can
timer.
see. We can see, or at least find a way to make it easier to link, like if we could go.
His eye's starting to bug out. Yeah, that's called thyroid issues.
Someday, we'll look at it.
That's what happens. They robbed Abraham Hughes out of a job. He's the current chief of police of Northville. They went with this dirtball instead of Abraham Hughes. Because Abraham Hughes wouldn't prosecute Mark Blackwell.
Well, that's,
So Ryan Strong, that's why they hired him, because he's their good old boy. He does what they say. He does what they say. Ryan Strong does what they say.
Oh, hey, what was the big accident down there on West Mount Michigan Avenue by Walgreens? Was that two tow trucks down there?
Was that a few hours ago?
Yeah, about 4 to 6.
I wasn't here yet. I
heard you weren't?
I wasn't here yet,
Man, hell, it was down one at Michigan and Merriman westbound, so it was loaded.
Gentlemen, City Hall's closed.
Oh, it's closed.
Damn, you slow
Yeah.
down?
They don't like veterans. They don't like veterans too much in Wayne.
Hey, don't
No.
get me involved in it.
Yeah, I
I'm a
know.
First Amendment auditor, don't get me involved with this chief here.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Yeah, well, I know. We could have had Abraham
So friendly,
Hughes.
because of him,
Yeah.
I mean, God.
They could have had Abraham Hughes, but they hired that dirtball.
Great.
I know. No Serini. They don't want to bring up that name. See you guys. See you, princesses. See you in court. You guys will be, all of you, well, you guys definitely. I'm glad I got Chief Strong's email though. Good job. Keep it up, guys. Keep up with those false petitions. They're working out real well for you.
Oh, boy.
I know. Someone's got to keep them honest. Someone's got to keep them honest. Because they sure as hell won't keep themselves honest. I'll tell you that. There you go, guys. That's a city council meeting right there for you. Isn't that lovely? Isn't that lovely? Squirrels, right? No, what do they talk about? Turkeys and deer, right? Fuck all the rats and all the other shit, right? Yep, that's what it is, guys. That's what it is. Crazy stuff. Crazy stuff. But that's, hey, you know, I tried telling you guys, it's a wild world out there. It's a wild world. Got a little cash in my car here. I better put that in the bank, right, before get pulled over by the Wayne PD, and then they, you know, compensate it because they say it's drug money, right? Civil forfeiture, isn't that still around, civil forfeiture? But yeah, that's city council right there, guys. That's city council. They got to send the backup. They got to send backup. See, they got to send backup when I'm around. They got to send the backup because McFarland, man, that camera with Mr. McFarland, that's dangerous. Dangerous, you see. It's dangerous. That right, Chief of Police. It's real dangerous. Oh, let's go by the fire department. Let's see if those signs are still in the back of the Ford Escape. Let's go check that out. Those illegal signs that it looks like the city of Wayne Looks like they posted it. Or they're the ones that installed them, right? It looks like it. I mean, they're both the same signs. I'll drive by Hype too to show you again, guys. Because like I said, I just want the truth. I don't care. I don't have an agenda other than the truth and nothing but the truth. So help me God. And that's just the fact of the matter. Let's see here. Let's see if they still have it. It was the blue one, I believe. It was one of them. They only got 4. I think they only got 4. Let's park and see what's what. Let's see. Yeah. They don't want to talk about Abraham Hughes, right? They don't want to talk about that, how we ended up with Ryan Strong. They don't want to talk about how we ended up with Deputy Chief Finley Carter, right? Yeah, deputy. You don't want to talk about that. Hell no. Hell no, they don't want to talk about that shit. Fuck no, they don't want to talk about that. Let's see here. Let's see what we got here. Let's see. Removal of snow and ice. City for non-compliance. Okay. There we go. We still got them scratchers. Ooh, look. Still got the lottery tickets, right? Here we go. See that, guys? I don't know if you can see that. Let me try to get that. See the lottery tickets? You guys see that? Right? On the clock, right? On the clock. Lottery tickets. That's amazing. Yeah, there's the signs, guys, still in the back. There they are. Yep, those are the same signs that are in front of the Hype Center. So the city of Wayne installed the illegal signs, but they'll claim that the Hype Center's private property, right? Well, here's the vehicle number. Municipal. Let me get a better shot. Let me get it from this angle too. So you can see City of Wayne sticker right there. Then you can see all the $2 scratchers, right? Looks like $2 scratch off tickets. Yeah, and then we got all those illegal signs that are made out of plastic. Let me see if I can show you guys. Let me see if I can get, I don't know if I have enough definition. I don't know what they got going on. Yeah, you can't really see it that well, unfortunately. Trespass isn't valid if voting. Well, we'll find out. We'll certainly find out because we're going to take our time voting. We're going to make sure we want to watch the polls too. So, we have a right to, to monitor the election integrity. We have a right to, be at the polls, right? So we'll see. We'll see how that goes, right? Trespass from spending taxpayer money. Oh yeah, on the clock, dude. On the clock. $2 scratchers on the clock, right? But I'm the crazy one. I'm the crazy one for trying to enforce standards, right? I guess it is kind of crazy. Do I like living in Wayne? Yeah, I love Wayne. I love the centralized location of it. I love a lot about it, right? I don't love the hypocrisy and the bullshit, ordinances that they weaponize against people while ignoring similarly situated people, right? Or persons, right? That's the correct term. Yeah, I don't like that too much. I don't like, the dog shit that we have on the city council and the dog shit department heads. But I love the city of Wayne. Make no mistake about it. I love the people of Wayne. I love the gritty nature of Wayne. I love what the city could be, right? I do love that, right? Spending taxpayer money for scratch-offs, exactly, right? I mean, that's just par for the course. A $2 scratcher at that, At least it's a $2 scratcher, right? At least it's not a $20 scratcher, That I could see, right? I could see a $2. Hey, look at this, right? Isn't this lovely too? Right across from City Hall, right? Check this shit out, guys. Right across from City Hall. There you go. There you go. There's one illegal sign. There's the second, and here's the third. See that right there, guys? You see that? You see how it's all fucked up? It's all blown away. You see how it's like not even in the frame? Look at that. Isn't that lovely, guys? That's pretty lovely shit, ain't it? I think so. I think it's pretty lovely shit, guys, honestly. Tell you the truth. I think it's amazing. I think it's amazing that you could just casually walk around Wayne and find open hypocrisy, right? You don't even have to look, right? It just slaps you in the fucking mouth. Slaps you in the mouth every time, and you're just like, damn, That's what it is. Do I love living in Wayne? Yeah, if I didn't have to look at fake cops named Donald Quarles. But he ain't gonna be around much longer, Quarles and Dowd especially, those, I mean, you're talking probably a half a ton between those two right there. More than a half a ton, right? Shit, I mean, you're talking a ton, right? I mean, it's a lot. And that motherfucker's red as fuck. Quarles is red as fuck. Yeah. And man, it's a disaster. It's really a disaster up there. Nothing worse than a fake cop, right? Bad enough you got to look at a pig, right? But then, you know, all these fake cops, holy fuck. That's scary. That's a scary proposition. But, you know, it's all good. He walks up to you like he's trying to intimidate you, right? He carries a gun on him, right? But only he's allowed to do it. Nobody else. So, it's interesting stuff. Interesting stuff. But anyways, guys, we have everything we need to move onward, to move forward with our complaints. And yeah, I mean, we'll see what we're gonna do. We'll see what we're gonna do going forward. I don't know. It's a lot of shit, you know, to have to contend with, right? But we do continue to try, right? We do continue to try. And so he don't like living with me. You know, he said that, Quarles, right? He said the quiet part out loud. Old Bug Eyes, yeah, old Bug Eyes, Ryan Strong, Bug Eyes. Yeah, he's a little bitch. He's a fucking little twerp. That's what he is. Twerp. An absolute fucking twerp. Trying to interfere with my First Amendment rights. Yeah, right, buddy. You and what army? That's my fucking question. You and what army, buddy? But hey, I'm not here for a long time, just a good time, guys. You know, so no, I'm here for both. I'm here for a long time and a good time. So it's all about longevity. We gotta surpass these chumpzillas, right? We gotta outlive them and outproduce them, outbreed them. You know, unfortunately, yeah, Chumpzilla. Can't wait to see that. I can't wait to see the night shift today. Oh yeah. Yeah, they need it. They need a constant reminder, right? It's like you need to turn on a sewage valve of shit and just spray them with it, right? Just non-stop sewage valve of shit, right? 'Cause that's what they are. Dog shit. I mean, just straight dog shit, man. Talk about nothing, right? Imagine that shit, guys. Talking about nothing. Talking about a city budget, right? Well, let's make some significant cuts to that budget, right? Let's talk about that budget. Let's talk about Diane Webb's salary. Let's talk about that. Let's say, hey, what are we paying you for again? $197,000 for a report. Yeah. Right. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Shit. It's a tragedy, man. I'm sorry, people of Wayne. I'm sorry, you know. I'm sorry we have to go through this together, you know. I really am, but, you know, someone's got to do it, right? Someone's got to state the obvious, right? Someone's got to be like, hey, you know, you can throw these pejorative insults at me and, oh, you don't like living here. I love living here. I just am tired of the parasitism. I'm just tired of the lack of standards that the city, you know, refuses to enforce basic standards, right? Like, you know, you just allow people to smoke fags, right? Smoke British cigs out in front of City Hall on a daily basis, right? Until I said something, right? I got to be the bad guy here, right? Which is just wild shit. It's wild shit, but it is what it is. You know, I know that Zook Pond, I know they're not too happy about that. I know they're not going to be happy about the side that I'm gonna make for it, right? Thanking all those bums, right? Why it exists. You know, Grimbrowski, this is for you, buddy. Toast. And I'm also so happy that Xfinity now has General Hospital plan once again. Why would that guy even care about that? What the fuck? Well, that's Donald Quarles. He's the fake Wayne County Sheriff. He's like a reserve, you know, like one of them fake cosplay police officers, right? But of course he's morbidly obese and, you know, redder than Larry the Lobster, which, you know, I don't know, just an observation, but typically those type of people, they don't have very long life expectancy. So I'd say he's about at the end of his, which, you know, we're not here to make fun of him for it, but, you know, when you're a piece of shit, you know, I'm gonna take everything that you know, I'm gonna take anything I can, right? So I don't know enough about him, but yeah, that's Donald Quarles. He's just a loudmouth. He's just a loudmouth. He's an idiot. He's a fucking idiot. They're all idiots, right? They're all fucking bumbling idiots. They don't know what the fuck they're doing, They don't give people anything of what they want, right? I mean, nothing, right? I mean, let's talk about what people want to talk about. That's not on the agenda, guys. It's just simply not on the agenda, right? And of course, they're not going to respond to you anyways because they need 2 weeks to formulate a response because, they're corrupt and evil. And, if you need 2 weeks to prepare a response to a basic question, then yeah, it's not a good system, not a good setup. But it's all, well, supposedly it's designed to limit liability and lawsuit, but as you can see, that's not working very well, right? So, I don't know. It's just like I said, it's a weird system they got there, and the false petitions, and it's just like it's rich. It's very rich. But of course, we love our people of Wayne, Michigan. We love the people of Wayne, Michigan very much. I literally, outside of like a couple people who live here, like out of like thousands, I've met a couple bootlickers, right? As we all have, but by and large, the people of Wayne, Michigan very much get it. They very much understand. Some of them don't, like I said, some of them are bootlickers and they have their own, it says, woo, yo, I'm in Centerline, Michigan right now. What up, dude? Green Monster are better, by the way. Nah, dude. No, too much sugar, bro. Too much fucking sugar. Glycation. Look it up. Look up glycated proteins. Glycation, right? That's what it's called. Look up glycation. No, the blue ones are far superior. The low carbs. Not the zero sugar. Those ones kind of suck. I don't like those ones. But the low carb, just the right amount of sweetness. Yeah, I switched to these years ago. I haven't looked back since. But it's all bad for you. It's all bullshit, kids. Don't ever touch an energy drink. Anybody, it's horrible for you. It's a habit I desperately wish I could kick. That's my fuel right there. Unfortunately, I'm so broke. I'm broke, so I won't have any of that tonight. Feel free to donate to Monsters to my channel tonight. LOL. Yeah, dude, just come pull up, dude. We'll drive around. I got an electric car. We can chill out. We can fucking, we can have some fun, right? We got to team up, right? We got to team up. Compile our resources, buddy. But yeah, if I'm not gonna buy a Green Monster just because I don't want to contribute to your glycation. But yeah, I'll hook you up with a low carb, my nigga. Stop by, my nigga. I'll get you a low carb. Shit, I might even send you home with 2. Or we can go out auditing, whatever, fuck around. I'll be on foot tonight. I like to go out on foot. Yeah, why not both? Why not start, why not switch it up on them, right? Catch them off guard, right? Catch them off guard. Yeah. Yeah, I might tag along with you. I'm kind of a fat fuck, I'm not like Kevin Dowd or Donald Quarles fat, but, I'm pretty decent, pretty up there for my standard, right? I'm a fat fuck for my standard, not for America's standard, right? But I do got a gut. I'm probably pushing 30% body fat, definitely high 20s, mid to high 20s for sure. I'd say probably, 26 to 30 is probably where I'm at. So yeah, I do need some walking. It says, they never know what I'm going to be on. I'm on a bike, I'm on a moped, I'm on a big green truck, I'm a black car, I'm on foot. They never know. Yeah, you're a little more inconspicuous than I am. I don't give a fuck. I pull up with the Lyft emblem, fucking going crazy, so they can't miss me. Red Toyota Camry in the middle of Ford country. Fuck, it's no wonder I don't get, shot. Right, just for existing here. The younger cop, though, at the meeting, he's always cool with me. I know he's not that great of a guy, but he ain't never really did shit to me. Can't really speak on him bad yet. Oh, Grimbrowski, total dirtbag, dude, trust me. Look at my videos, dude. May 9th, he broke into my house. May 9th, May 19th, July 10th, I believe he was there. Yeah, he's a shit stirrer. He's an instigator. Don't be fooled by him. Don't be fooled by any of them, dude. They're not good people. I'll tell you that right now, dude. Ain't nothing about any of them. No. No, dude, I mean, if you don't know the difference between a policy and an ordinance, I mean, that's fucked. That's fucked, you know, I mean, that's like, how could you even, you know, be a cop, right? But that's honestly what they look for. They prefer that, you know, they prefer them just, you know, not know what anything is, right? Stupid enough to do the paperwork and then dumb enough to question it, right? Or smart enough to do the paperwork, but not, you know, they want them dumb enough, right, to do the paperwork. Well, no, the opposite, right? They want people smart enough to do the paperwork, but dumb enough to not ask questions, right? That's what they want. If we can really, truly organize, we can be a wrench in the gears. Because I've been telling my crowd, even though these cops seem like they're cool with me, I've seen plenty of times that they're not cool with other people. Use you as an example this morning. Yeah, I mean, you know, obviously, you know, I got to display absurdity to illustrate absurdity. And I am the more, how I say, extreme example, right? You could definitely say. But it's for a reason, right? It's for a point, because I know that I can, you know, maybe because of the fortunate, you know, the position I'm in life, right? I'm able to stress test a bit more, right? And so I have to, right? And I honestly don't feel like I do enough, and people say I do too much. So, you know, I am conflicted myself, because, you know, yeah, I mean, these people, like I said, that guy murdered John Zook Jr., Dombrowski. He was the guy who murdered John Zook Jr., right? So Caldwell's actually in the intro of my videos. Oh yeah, he's a shitbag. They're all shitbags. Like I said, Tillmadge, he was all right to me. He's the only one that's ever been decent to me. But they all work for the same entity. They all have the same boss, right? And so, yeah, he's the one telling me, you know, we're not your enemy, right? And I'm you're sure in the hell not here to help me. No, they can't help you. It's not their policy, right? Their policy is not to help you. Their policy is to try to, you know, get you convicted of a crime and, you know, try to give you a case, right? Try to give you a case, right? They'll give you a case in your backyard, right? You're just minding your own business, existing in your backyard, then all of a sudden, boom, you know, they break in, no warrant, no probable cause. Couldn't even articulate it if they had to, right? No probable cause, right? Just come hang out in your backyard because, you know, they want to piss you off, or, you know, they got a call, or, you know, whatever vague bullshit, you know, they want to tell you, right? If they even want to tell you, right? A lot of times they'll just say, oh, it's confidential, we can't tell you, even though it's public record, but they can't let you know. Just like this FOIA I just got from Tina Parnell. Records don't exist, right? No records of the open burn policy even exist. So it's just, again, the open burn policy, it's just a figment of our imagination, right? Which is, you know, even better, right? Right? There's no open burn policy history, none of that. We can be more than a wrench in the gears. We could really toss the whole system out. I dream of a total wave of people united against police state. Yeah, I mean, people have to be willing to they have to be willing to set aside their differences, right? They have to be willing to set aside everything. They have to say, hey, look, I'm not going to get mad at you for whatever, you know. Like, you have to be willing to get in lockstep with people that you vehemently disagree with, right? That's the only way. You have to all come to an agreement. It's like, hey, nobody wants a police state besides a few bootlickers here and there, and there's not enough bootlickers. I don't believe there's enough bootlickers. I think that the average bootlicker is more politically involved than the average, you know, non-bootlicker, let's say. Because I think, you know, people that have been wronged by the system, they don't want to, you know, they don't want to engage in the system, right? They don't want to vote, right? It's the bootlickers, right? The bootlickers are the ones that go to the council meetings and, you know, the ones that, you know, try to buddy up to the department heads because I guess they think they're going to let them hit it too or something. I don't know. You know, what it reminds me of is like, you know, guys at the bar that just kind of like hang out around, like they just kind of, they orbit around, you know, the girl they want to fuck. They have no chance of ever fucking them, right? No chance at all. But, you know, they orbit around these women, you know, in the hopes that maybe she'll, you know, be bored or she'll just say fuck it, you know, they think that if they just suck up to them and simp for them that they're going to let them hit it too or something, right? And it doesn't work that way. Not usually. right? Unless you're paying, right? I mean, you know, I wouldn't engage. If I didn't have to, guys, I wouldn't engage with the city of Wayne unless I was forced to, right? Then I would engage with them. But I don't know. I don't know what the fuck's up with any of that shit. Damn, bro, it's kind of cold out here. Yeah, that's why I told you to get in the fucking car. Right? I'm going to have to take Cannon out. Yeah, put Elziotti in there. His breath smells like he brushes his teeth with turds. Oh, it's so bad. Yeah. Yeah, he's not our enemy. We can be more than friends. Damn, bro, it's kind of cold out here. Did you believe anything that old guy was saying when he said he was taking down hikes by the river? Yeah, I mean, Brock, yeah, yeah, I mean, I sent him some pictures of some deer and shit. I believe him slightly more than I believe the other ones. I don't believe any of them as far as you can throw them, but Brock, you can throw him a little farther than the rest. He's kind of a skinny guy, so yeah, I believe him. He's kind of one of them outdoorsy kind of fucks, you know. So I believe him. I believe he's, you know, he's very, you know, he's a tree hugger, which I don't have a problem with, you know, that about him. Let's see here. Does he see the same shit I see when I walk through the city? No, none of them do. Right? None of them do. Right? Because they have to prop up this false system, right? They depend on it, right? A lot of their family depends on it. Yeah, I mean, it's just a, you know, it's not a real government, you know. I mean, if it's a real government, you don't even, I mean, we're talking about nonsense, right? Complete and utter nonsense that people just roll their eyes at and they just go, man, you know. I mean, that's why people don't even show up to those meetings, right? Because it's like they just know it's going to be just a bunch of non-informative, non-consequential bullshit, right? Any of the real action, any of the real juicy content happens behind closed doors and closed sessions, right? The public never gets to hear about any of that shit, right? They don't get it. They don't get to hear about any of it, right? It's like the public gets to see what they want you to see, right? They don't want you to have any real informative, consequential information, right? Of course not. That's not what they're there for. You know, they're there to give you an illusion that, you know, voting matters when it really doesn't. I mean, it does in the sense, like, if you can get enough people on the same page, if you can vote enough strong personalities that have similar moral code, right, similar moral structure, then, you know, it is possible. It is possible. But, you know, it's not likely. I mean, like I said, I have a couple people that I want to run in 28. You know, Elsa Zamora. I'm going to try to find some other people. I know of some other people, some young people, but, you know, I'll be honest with you. It's just, who the fuck would want to do it, right? You'd have to be a crazy fuck to want to do it, right? And so, you know, hi, my name is Vince. So yeah, I mean, you're unlikely, really, to get any real change. But you can have, you know, it can be, at least to have it be entertaining, right? At least, you know, get the conversation, you know, in the discussion, right? At least get the, you know, get something on the record, right? I mean, you never know, you know, where things are going to lead. So you just have to kind of, you know, do what you can, right? I mean, you know, like I said, if we could just get 4 degenerates, right? They don't have to be good people. They don't have to be none of that. All they have to do is be people that live in reality, that will say enough is enough, fuck this bullshit, and, you know, that's all you need. That's all you really need. You just need one person like me to say, hey, I'll draft all your ordinances. I'll make it all make sense. You know, I'll save the city of Wayne hundreds of thousands of dollars. We don't need a city attorney to write this, you know, bullshit, right? We can just, you know, chat GPT, right? Chat GPT, we can revise and correct, and, you know, we got 6 sets of eyes on it. We can, you know, we can figure something out, right? We don't need to spend hundreds of thousands of dollars on bums, right? On parasites, Carolyn Miller, Michael Bosnick, right? We don't need to do that. So we can, you know, we can have our cake and eat it too, in the sense that, you know, we just got to have people that, you know, actually give a fuck, right? That want to live in reality. They want to get rid of their double chins, not, you know, promote double chinism, right? That's what I got. Let me do this for you. There you go. So, you know, I feel like the old ladies, you know, that have to get their chin tucks and shit, but, you know, that's what happens when you're a fat fuck like me. But I can lose the weight, you know, give me about 6 weeks. I mean, yeah, thank you. Thank God I find out what's happening on General Hospital. I know nothing about the huge potholes all over Wayne, right in front of the police station and everything. Yeah, I mean, nothing, like I said, nothing consequential comes out of those city council meetings at all. They're a formality, complete and total formality. I want to make them, you know, more informal, make them more, you know, people want to engage with it. He must take them walks early morning. I've never seen him out there. I've seen the Benny and the Jets guy out there walking late night. I've never seen that guy. Yeah, I mean, I don't know, his address, all his information's public record. I mean, it's all on the what's it called? The bulletin board, right? The bulletin board, that's all on the city website. So I don't know where the fuck he lives. Couldn't care. He lives over south of Michigan Avenue, kind of south, I think south. He lives by the dump, southwest. Yeah, southwest Wayne. I live northwest. He lives southwest. But yeah. Oh, let's see here. And those pesky turkeys and deer, you know, are a bigger problem than the rats all over. We should have addressed how we can keep the deer away. Yeah. Yeah, it's sad. I mean, I'm glad I'm not the only one that sees it, right? Thank God. But we need the votes, man. We need to get on the council and, you know, at least get the conversation started, right? I mean, and I can't really guarantee much. I mean, without any, you know, without any co-support. Like I said, everybody's just afraid to say something, you know. Nobody wants to be the next Mark Blackwell or the next Vincent McFarland or the next Anthony Miller or the next John Zook Jr., right? Nobody wants to be that, right? Everyone saw the consequences that, you know, the price that those people had to pay for speaking out or for asking for help or just, you know, speaking to them in general. How dare you, peasant? How fucking dare you? How dare you think you have a voice here and you have a purpose here? You most certainly do not. Shut up and pay your taxes and don't question anybody or anything. Don't question it. Don't even fucking mention it, right? So. But you guys heard it live. Donald Quarles said, you know, flat out. Said flat out. Good for legality. This does come up. It's good for legality though, because it's like they can't. It makes it harder for them to be like, oh, that's not weed bullshit. So they try to everyone's weed on the direct everything. Oh, I smell weed. I'm like, nah, bro, that's just weed. But they try to do. That's how they try to get people started. Oh, I need to search your car. I smell weed. Even though the Michigan Supreme Court said that ain't a problem. It's too subjective, too abusable. You know? How do you prove you smell something? You can't. So yeah, but the nice part is you can go on. There's really no like economic purpose, but it's good safety to go to jail. Because it turns it into, instead of it being a recreational drug, it's medical. So it's zero, give them football check. Definitely not about that. Not about food, not about might not see her for a while. Thank you. All right, everyone's still here? Holy shit, everyone's still here. What's going on, guys? Let me get that Zeppelin OG and whatever else. Pick me up 2 for $4. They're outdoor O's. They're not that bad. And these pesky turkeys. Well, that would be illegal, Zanron. That'd be illegal, bro. And I'm a law-abiding motherfucker. But you know, I'll let you hit some of this pre-roll. I don't know if your little heart can handle it, though, bro. I don't know if you can handle it. But you know, if you're game for it, buddy, let me know. I'll come pick you up. You know, we can go wave our pocket pussies around at the Wayne PD. That's what I want to do, man. I want to like get a pocket pussy. Oh, a thin blue line pocket pussy, right? That's what I want to run around with. Oh fuck, I gotta check into that. Is that legal? Is it legal? I think so. Pretty sure it is. I don't see why it wouldn't be. But man, can you imagine? You just follow them around, right? Because you can, right? They'll say, "Oh, he's followed me around." Well, that's you're a public servant, guys. I mean, I can observe you, you know. But yeah, just imagine that though, right? Like just having a thin blue line pocket pussy, right? And yeah, we need one. We need one in Wayne. We definitely need one. Don't throw it at them though, because then they'll get you with assault and shit. But you know, if you just kind of, you know, ooh, you know, ooh. Yeah, that's an idea. Don't give me an idea. Don't give me an idea. Don't give me an idea, guys. Like I said, I don't know, but I know thin blue line pocket pussy is definitely overdue. Definitely need one. No doubt about that. Shit. Get a fire department. I don't know what's that. Was that the thin red line? Is that what they call it? The thin red line? Yeah, we need one from a thin blue line pocket pussy and a thin red line pocket pussy. And we'll give the thin blue line one. We'll give it at. I'll take it to city council and I'll give it as a gift, right? I'll give it as a gift, right? I'll put it on the city council. You know, before I get on the council, right? I'll put it as a gift for the city of Wayne. I'll put it on there. You know, awarded to Chief Ryan Strong. Bug Eyes. Awarded to him, and then I guess the fire marshal, Jeremy Schneider, right? We'll give it to him too. You know, so Pocket Pussy Award. right? For the biggest pussy, for the biggest pussy of the year, right? Pussy of the Year award. It'll be a thin blue line pocket pussy and a thin red line pocket pussy. And then they can carry it with them everywhere they go. Or we can just fire them, right? I prefer that. I prefer we just fire them. We get some real leaders, get some real men, right? Can we get some real men in Wayne? Are men allowed to exist in Wayne, or is that just forbidden? Is that the forbidden sauce, right? Masculinity in Wayne. It's just the forbidden sauce. You know, it's forbidden under all circumstances, right? But yeah. What else is new, guys? Other than these bombs, what else is new? What else is new? Hey, look, I think we got the police at Dollar Tree, eh? Do we have the police at the Dollar Tree? Ooh, CBD, baby. Nothing beats a good old CBD stick, right? Because we only smoke CBD. We are vehemently anti-THC, vehemently anti-marijuana, right? I mean, on this channel, I believe CBD is medicine, and I believe marijuana is the devil's lettuce. Okay? Now, you can take that how you will, right? I gotta say it as a disclaimer, because, you know, the people that are watching, right? Well, no, I mean, you know, read between the lines a little bit here. We're being monitored by Satan himself, right? We're being monitored by the Wayne PD. This channel is regularly monitored by the Wayne PD. And so, yeah, you know, all we do is smoke CBD. 0% THC, right? Military discount like THC. Military doesn't like THC. Yeah, exactly. Fucking exactly my point, right? We do not consume THC. You know, we're a proud military family, and the only way marijuana is hurting anyone is if 5,000 pound, what the fuck? I gotta look at those. What the fuck are you saying? 5,000 pounds fall from the airplane and lands on you. Oh yeah, you know, narcos, right? Yeah. No, it's definitely not without its problems. I mean, are the problems certainly more benign than alcohol? Of course, right? You can't like smoke yourself to death really from marijuana. But no, I mean, it's definitely not something that I would say is healthy. I wouldn't say burning anything and inhale it and it's healthy. Definitely would not. But it's you know, definitely I would argue alcohol. Yeah. I mean, I'm not gonna sit here and say alcohol is superior to marijuana. I mean, you know, I don't really think the comparison's all that fair. I think they're two different substances, right? I mean, I get it though, right? People like to point out the hypocrisy, which is fair. That's a fair argument. You know, definitely a fair argument, without a doubt. Definitely a fair argument. Yeah, I mean, if alcohol is legal, there's no reason that marijuana shouldn't be at least federally decriminalized completely. But it just really needs to be legalized. They're going to reschedule it to a Schedule 3, which, you know, makes more sense than having it be in a Schedule 5, but it's still not enough, right? I think it's going to lead to problems in the industry instead of just, you know, or no, it should be a Category 5, a Schedule 5, not a Schedule 1. Right, excuse me, I got it mixed up. Alcohol, way bigger problem. Yeah, I mean, of course, societally, it's a much bigger problem. But consumption of alcohols went way down, especially among young people, so it's a good thing. I was comparing the two for the cops that are watching you, know the ones that love to hear a drink after their shift is over. Oh yeah. I mean, cops are notoriously known as being alcoholics and woman beaters, wife abusers, right? Spouse abusers. Domestic violence, right, is real big in the police community. Very big. I mean, it's like basically a pastime. Unfortunately, it's fucked up. what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do besides stay away from them? And always record them. Always fucking record them. Meth is a problem. I drank and smoked and worked 50 hours since 1995. Yeah, meth is a problem for sure. I mean, I don't think it's as big a problem as fentanyl. I think, cocaine and meth are child's play compared to fentanyl. Now, obviously, don't get me wrong, I'm not here promoting meth or cocaine for anybody. But, amphetamines legal, right? That's Adderall and Dextrin and Disoxin, right? Vyvanse. So, I mean, amphetamines have their place for sure, meth included. I'm not, I would rather see people using pure meth, right? Disoxin, right? Pharmaceutical grade meth, I mean, versus the shit on the streets. But yeah, methamphetamine, I've been prescribed it. It's not the most, it's not the cleanest feeling. Gives you high blood pressure, and Adderall is much easier on your system. Adderall is much better, a much more superior medication. But yeah, I mean, it can be a problem, especially the street meth, without a doubt. But no, I'm generally in favor of legalization of all drugs, or at least decriminalization. I don't think we should be locking people in cages because they do drugs. I don't think that that's an appropriate measure, right? I think that's highly fucking problematic. Taking people's houses over drugs, that's highly problematic. It went way down because of the weed. No, I don't necessarily believe it's because of weed. I mean, that's certainly a part of it, but I don't think that's the major component. I don't think it has really much to do with the weed. Because I know a lot of people that use weed and drink, and I don't think they're mutually exclusive, right? Like, sometimes I drink, sometimes I smoke CBD, right? So, I mean, I know some people, sometimes they drink, sometimes they smoke THC, sometimes they do both at the same time. But no, I think alcohol, the sales and the consumption of it's way down because I think it's more so to do with the economy. And, alcohol is really bad for you just in general, and we all kind of know it now, right? The younger generation especially. They're just not interested in it. Well, they're not interested in a lot of things. They're not interested in sex. They're not interested in marriage, family, all that shit. So, yeah, alcohol. I mean, a lot of young antisocial, right? They're not very social. And so alcohol, is a social drug, right? So, but yeah, I mean, marijuana is definitely playing a role. Don't get me wrong. But I don't think it's certainly not ideal. Of course. But yeah, crackhead's way better than a Fenny head. Or, meth head for that matter. Come on. God, that restaurant smells good as fuck. Crack was more the 80s and 90s. It's more the fentanyl and dog food, aka heroin. Losing signal. Keep rolling, rolling, rolling. Yeah, I'm still here. Yeah, I don't know what happened. Just shit, you know. Just shit. It's you know, like I said, the city of Wayne is throttling my channel. The police department regularly tune in and out of my YouTube channel, so it definitely that has a role for sure. But it's just shitty internet, shitty service. I have my Wi-Fi on by accident, so my phone's trying to fucking search for a Wi-Fi signal, which fucks everything up. But yeah, we should be good to go now. We should be good to go. Return to the smoke sesh here. Yeah, I had a kind of a shit week as far as spent a lot of money, man. Spent a lot of fucking money I didn't have. Plumbing, right? So yeah, we got a lot of work to do though. Just in general, lots of work. Lots and lots and lots and lots and lots and lots of work. I mean, I got lawsuit after lawsuit after lawsuit to draft, and information's always updating and changing, and I mean, it's too much, guys. So I'm glad I got the criminal case resolved, because that was fucking, you know, like I said, 51 weeks of just pure hell, pure dog shit, you know, pure fucking agony and migraine inducing bullshit. And yeah, just totally unequivocally malicious prosecution, right? Totally. I mean, you couldn't get a more obvious example of a malicious prosecution than people of the city of Wayne versus DeVinci McFarland. Because like I said, 5 warrantless break-ins, 4 times to enforce a law that doesn't even exist, 1 time, I mean, with a, you know, void for vagueness ordinance, right? But still, you can't violate the 4th Amendment, right? You can't violate the 4th Amendment. The 4th Amendment is still the supreme law of the land. The 4th Amendment, in my opinion, is the most important amendment. Without the 4th Amendment, you have no chance, right, of any recourse, right? So, 4th Amendment at least gives you a fighting chance. Gives you a fighting chance. And then now I have a FOIA from the city of Wayne claiming that information on the open burn policy doesn't even exist, right? I put in a FOIA asking for the history of the open burn policy, and apparently that doesn't exist, right? It existed on their city website, right, for years, but now they just, like I said, playing dumb, playing stupid again. Well, I don't know if they're playing stupid or they just are stupid. I think it's a little bit of both. Right? I think it's a little bit of both. But yeah, I mean, we're gonna have get a little bonfire going. Let's see what's up, what's going on here. Did you drive under the viaduct, Annapolis and Ash? There was a traffic stop there, attempted B&E on Madison Street. Ooh. Yeah, I need to get a scanner, bro. What's a good recommendation? Oh, I wanna I want to be able to track this. I'd love to be able to get the jump on them, right? First on the scene, baby. Live for the people of Wayne and for the world. We can look at our boys in blue, our heroes, right? Of course, I'm using air quotes with the heroes, right? But yeah, our heroes can demonstrate how their professionalism, they can show us, right? They can demonstrate to the world their professionalism, as they call it, their self-proclaimed professionalism, and people can get to see what their tax dollars are being spent on, right? Which is only fair, right? You can't sit here and have these formalities, these city council meetings, and sit here and pay lip service to the taxpayer and it's all about you guys. We're doing this for you, yeah. Well, okay, let's see where your money's being spent, guys. See how it's being spent in real time without it being altered and, redacted, right? Without any of that, right? No redactions, no alterations, no time to get our story together, right? Just live, uncut, unedited information, which is all I've ever wanted in the city of Wayne, Michigan. That's all I've ever wanted. It was just something that we can go, oh yeah, this is live, this is unedited, this is uncensored, this is unredacted, this is unedited, this is, what you see is what you get, 100%. Instead of having this jogger bullshit, right? This jogger bullshit where, the city of Wayne kind of jogs around issues and, tiptoes around issues and refuses to acknowledge their existence and talks about fucking turkeys and deer. Right? Like, oh my God, they're in Michigan, like no shit, right? Like the deer were here before we were. So, I don't know. It's not really, newsworthy, right? Oh yeah, we got a bunch of deer in Wayne. Yeah, no shit, right? No shit. The River Rouge, as well as several drains, run right through Wayne, right? So, yeah, no shit. But, they got to remind you of that because, there's, like I said, there's nothing to talk about, really. No positive news, right? Other than Zook Pond's coming. Other than, the city of Wayne's finally going to have a body of water again, officially. The city of Wayne hasn't had a body of water, a registered or a recognized body of water since Carpenter Lake, right? That was almost a century ago. So now we have another body of water coming, and we really, truly can't wait. We can't wait to honor, John Zook Jr., John Zook Sr., and the Zook family, but really to honor the truth, right? Which is, there's severe consequences for police brutality. There's severe consequences for, people, police officers, right? And public officials in general. But there's consequences to their inaction or their deliberate indifference or their, shitty training or protocols or policies or their vindictive, malicious, retaliatory ways, or, there's real lifelong consequences, right? And potentially life-ending consequences for incompetence, lack of training, or improper training, or just, hiring dirtballs, right? Hiring people of low moral character, people that, don't have, we want to bring back peace officers. It's just that simple. And if we can't do it, then we got to look at other options, because there's certainly cheaper options, right? Just think of from the liability standpoint. The city of Wayne has demonstrated that, they're essentially civil rights abusers, chronic civil rights abusers. And, it's been demonstrated that it comes from Ryan Strong himself. So, if it's coming from the top down, right, civil rights violations and false petitions and false police reports, no police reports, just outright false police reports, just fucking video evidence completely contradicts in every way what's on the piece of paper, right? But it's it's enough is enough, right? I mean, we could save so much money in liability cost and embarrassment, right? Because like, hey, if we contracted out to Westland or Wayne County or, you know, Michigan State Police or any of these other, you know, places, like, well, first of all, we're going to get better services. That's number one. We're going to get more impartial services. We're going to get real policing, hopefully. And, you know, it's going to absolve us of a lot of responsibility, because now we can say, hey, you know, we contracted this out. We don't control it. You know, you can wipe your hands clean of it, right? Instead of what we have now, which is, oh yeah, we're going to endorse these retarded ass ordinances. We're going to endorse these idiotic department head policies and protocol, procedures, practices, customs, traditions, whatever the fuck you want to call them, right? We're going to endorse this nonsense. And ultimately, it's just going to get us sued, because, you know, it should get you fucking sued. You know, I encourage everybody to file lawsuits against the city of Wayne. If you think or suspect they're violating your rights, they probably are. They probably are. If they're coming onto your property, Brandon Braun or any ordinance officer, if they're coming onto your property without a warrant, without your consent, without exigent circumstances, that's in violation of the Fourth Amendment, straight up. And that needs to be, you know, unfortunately, you got to litigate. You know, that's just how these type of scumbag fucks learn their lessons. They learn their place, they learn their lessons. That's unfortunately the only way that's going to happen. You got to sue the fuck out of them, and, you know, sue them often, right? I mean, every time they violate your rights, you have to sue. You have to follow through with it, because if you don't, then what you say doesn't have any merit, and they're just going to continue to walk all over you and do what they want to do to you, right? Because that's what they did to me, right? I mean, I tried to work it out with them without, you know, getting the courts involved, and they got me nowhere. They got me absolutely nowhere. They got me stonewalled. They got me censored. They got me canceled. They got me barred from City Hall, barred from polling location, right? Right? Barred from political activity, election activity. So now going down to vote makes me a criminal in Wayne. You know, poll watching makes me a criminal, right? Things that you have a right to do. You have a right to go to the polling station, and you have a right to monitor what's going on. And yeah, now I have to risk incarceration to do that because of the city of Wayne's, like I said, well, it's their deliberate indifference, right, to constitutional rights, right? They're just deliberately indifferent to your constitutional rights, your civil rights, and you know, they'll pay lip service to them once in a while. You know, they'll thank you for your service, but that's about it. It says your cell phone. I use the app on my phone. There's a 2 or 3 minute delay, but it's still a decent app. What app is that? Michigan and Maryland. I wonder if they're doing the speed trap by Illinois right now. Yeah, I mean, I should set up by the speed trap and, you know, exercise my First Amendment, notifying people, right, of their notifying people so they don't have to get stopped by those road pirates, right? You want to talk about public service? That is an amazing public service, right? Because, you know, I mean, artificially low speeds and speed traps. I mean, it's just dirty. It's just dishonest. It's just not. It's lying, cheating, and stealing. And you know, like I said, I went to Georgia Military College. It was browbeaten into my skull. I do not lie, cheat, or steal, nor tolerate those who do, right? And that has got to be the mantra of the city of Wayne. I will not lie, cheat, or steal nor tolerate those who do, right? And if everyone just had that mentality and that standard, right, that blatant standard, then man, it's there's no telling what we could accomplish here, right? And not ignoring issues, right, that people actually care about. Like people actually care about lawsuits and their rights being violated, and people care about that kind of stuff, and people want to know about that kind of stuff. And I only get 3 minutes, right, to address so many different things, with Tina Parnell, right? Because again, right, can we put up this signage, this permit of Zook Pond? Can we inform the people of Wayne and let them know, like, hey, this is happening. This is something that is for real. And the city of Wayne previously called a pond a pool, right, and a pool a pond, right? They said, oh well, we don't have a pond ordinance per se, like we don't have a pond permit ordinance or scheme, right? But we have a pool permit process, and you got to comply with the pool permit, right? That's what the city of Wayne tried to say. I had to comply with their swimming pool permit for my pond, which of course any rational human being would be like, a pond and a pool, those are pretty different things, right? I know they're both bodies of water and you can swim in them, right? I guess you can jump in a pond, you can jump in a pool, but that's about where the similarities end, right? I mean, they're one's a natural feature, a basin in the ground, and the other one is an artificially man-made construction, right? It's a little bit different, right? A little bit different purpose, a little bit different, a lot of things, right? One's a natural spring in the ground, and one is not that. So we were of course obstructed every step of the way, lied about Bob Watson, lied to Eagle, told Eagle all sorts of false and misleading information about my property. I don't maintain it, it's this and that. It's just simply not true. I mean, it's a big property, and I'm actively working on it, right? I was getting a lot of shit done before the rain happened here yesterday, so we're gonna, we've grinded about half of the stump. Tomorrow I'll take a video. I'm gonna go over to, Elsa Zamora. She lives at, I'm not gonna give her address, but she lives in on Glover Street in Wayne. Big ass tree. I talked about her, right? As soon as I said something, the city of Wayne, boom, they're right out there, right? She had this giant ass tree that, it was like a maple tree planted. It was between the sidewalk and the road and the city easement. And, basically the city came through one day, cut the tree down, left a big giant ass stump with a bunch of giant splinters, right? They didn't even cut it flat. They just left it, really dangerous, right? Kid can jump on it, fall on a splinter. I mean, splinters that could pierce you, right? They could cut you. If a kid fell on it, it could go through them, right? So, of course, what the fuck soever. I mean, there's no real leadership in Wayne. I mean, I know there's a couple people that try to kind of fill that void, but you need a voice of the people. You need a representative, someone who just tells it like it is, doesn't give a fuck, and isn't gonna filter the truth because of who he's around, right? So he's just he or him, right? She, right? I guess. God damn, this motherfucker just stopped right in front of me like a motherfucker. But that's why we got the smart technology in the car, right? It gives us a very, sometimes it's a little trigger happy, the Toyota, system, but it does good, right? I mean, for the most part, it's very useful, and it should be standard in every vehicle. But I understand, they're using this shit to spy on people, to violate your rights and to collect data on you, and, it is a problem. It is definitely a problem. So, Glenwood, baby. McFarland, Glenwood. Right? I haven't even really campaigned in Glenwood yet. I mean, I've only really campaigned on the east side of Wayne, you know, to prove a point, right? I went to their neighborhoods and got votes out of, you know, right where all they live, right? All the elites, right? So I went to their neighborhoods, Hoe Street, and Glover, and I went all over there. Didn't have to go far though. A couple streets, right? Boom, boom, boom. There's all your signatures. 90% success, right? I had 10% get rejected, but 90%. So not bad, not too shabs. Not too shabs. 43 out of 48, right? Not too shabby. And then of course I had to go on Ash Street, right? I had to get a couple over by City Hall. Just to prove a point, just to show them, hey, you're not as untouchable as you think, guys. None of us are, and it's really, I prefer the city of Wayne just get their act together and actually do right by the people, but it takes brutal honesty, right? And I'm just not convinced that the city of Wayne really has it in them, right? To be brutally honest, and it's unfortunate, that's for sure. It's unfortunate, and what the fuck can you do, guys? I mean, what the fuck can you do? What can you do other than keep doing what you're doing, right, guys? Just keep giving them hell every chance you can, every chance you get. Every chance you can, give them hell. Because there's a lot of people that are no longer... There's people here that are no longer with us that should be with us, and they're not because, it's a dangerous world, man. Incompetent, malicious policing has consequences, right? Severe consequences. Death, false incarceration, false imprisonment, false arrest, right? Extensive time in prison, right? Jail, institutionalized, right? Psych evaluations, and just wild shit, guys. Wild shit. So for essentially nothing, right? For having a bonfire in your backyard like I'm about to do now, and just becoming a criminal for having a bonfire in your backyard and telling people to, without warrants, to please get off your fucking property, right? Like, hey bro, you're trespassing, you don't have a warrant, you don't have my consent, there's no emergency, you gotta go, right? Like there's no business for you to be here other than you want to just piss me off, right? That is your business, right? You've admitted so. January 9th, 2026, Wayne Fire Captain, I just want to go into this property just to piss him off. That's the only reason I want to go, right? Well, damn, that pretty much sums it up, right? So, I don't know. I mean, call me fucking crazy, guys. Call me a tinfoil hat conspiracy theorist, but, 5 warrantless break-ins, a couple ass beatings, or 1 ass beating, 1 assault and battery, but 2 assault and batteries, 1 ass beating, concussion, right? Visually you can see, different pupils, right, after the July 10th beatdown. So, yeah, it's, it's just in my head, right, guys? It's just all in my head that all this happened to me and my family, and, it took a year to get any semblance of justice, right? To get any semblance of closure. It took literally 51 weeks. And we didn't get a jury trial. We didn't get any trial at all. We didn't get really a single evidentiary hearing. We didn't get much of anything, right? We didn't even get any discovery, really, that we asked for. We got very little discovery that we asked for. The city of Wayne tried to cook the ROA, Register of Actions. They omitted all mention of, they still have yet to, really truly correct the ROA, because there's no mention of Jermaine Warwick, his motion for his appearance and demands, right? The demands portion is missing. miraculously from all 5 ROAs the demands, right? Which is demands for what? For discovery, right? So the city of Wayne still has admitted all that. So we have to. I'm gonna try to go down to the court administrator tomorrow, and I'm gonna try to. I'm gonna try to politely ask her, politely insist that she put that in the ROA, like she swore it under oath that she would. Otherwise, I have to, of course, file another motion with Judge Plakas, and then they have to go back to court and spend more money and get embarrassed some more. But like I said, I'm not trying to play gotcha games with people or with City of Wayne, with nobody. It's just really the simple fact of the matter is, they have to start acting, in good faith, right? You can't have your cake and eat it too, City of Wayne. Nobody truly can, and especially not, the government, right? The government is supposed to be held to a higher standard, and it's just, I prefer if they would just correct the ROA, make it accurately reflect what actually occurred in the case versus just continuing to ignore reality. Because I will file another motion, have them go back to court and all that. And then they barely mentioned anything about the discovery preservation order and the August 24th motion that was granted by the court, right? They very, very briefly added it, right? Very, very briefly. But again, there's still no mention of the discovery demands from back in June, right? We had them back in June, and then we had them, of course, back in August, right? And we still never got discovery, and that's why the discovery preservation order exists, right? So it's just kind of strange, It's kind of strange that people that supposedly know how to do their job, they have to be, corrected, right? They have to be watched, right? Like they're little kids, because they don't want to, of course, accurately reflect the truth in the register of actions, right? And then, of course, the city didn't want to accurately reflect the iChat information, right? They, had my disposition as a felony, right? Which, of course, I never got arrested or charged with any felony. So, apparently by their own iChat, never got charged with anything, because all that's blank. So I was arrested on state level charges, misdemeanors, high level misdemeanors, apparently unknowing to me, right? I thought I was arrested and charged with ordinance violations, but apparently not, right? Apparently there's some secret statutes that I wasn't privy to know about. So I had four state level misdemeanors, high level misdemeanors, as the arrest segment. I had nothing in the charging segment, so I got charged with nothing. I got arrested for all this shit, charged with nothing, and then disposition, 18-month probation felony, right? That's what it reflected, right? That was after the 35th District Court had informally asked the City of Wayne to correct it, right? Which they swore they did, right? Oh, they're going to look into it. Finley Carter, DEI Carter, he's going to look into it, right? Deputy Chief of Police. DEI, Jogger Carter, right? He's going to look into it. JC, baby, our big bad jogger. He's going to look into it, and he's going to let us know. Well, he looked into it and let us know, all right. Showed up in court, right? And, it was all just poetic justice. It really was. To watch Bosnick turn red and on camera, it was lovely watching him turn red. He's done that a few times the last 3 hearings. So gotten everything terminated, right? Much as a hillbilly paralegal can, right? Georgia Military College trained hillbilly paralegal, as much as I can get done. And so now we can move forward with the 1983 Monell, the 4th Amendment violations, and all the lawsuits, and this and that, and the 5 warrantless break-ins, or the 4 warrantless break-ins, right? We have the other, the 2024 March 28, 2024 break-in that's already being litigated right now, but the May 9th, 2025, May 19th, 2025, July 5th, 2025, the July 10th, 2025 beatdown, and false arrest. And then, of course, everything subsequently until April 30th of 2026. All of that's going to be litigated, of course, in its own lawsuit or lawsuits, whatever is more, I guess, advantageous or whatever is more, viable, I guess. I don't know what the word would be, but whatever's more appropriate, I suppose you could say. So we're going to do it pro se. We're going to do it with an attorney. It, makes no difference to me because, again, I'm still going to talk about the truth and nothing but the fucking truth and the facts and, the real story, what actually occurred, and, how the city broke into my house without a warrant to enforce a law that doesn't exist, an open burn policy or policy for controlled fires in the city of Wayne. We need to figure out a lot, right? And of course, they bypassed their own ordinance, Chapter 12.1, hazards and nuisances. They bypassed that ordinance for reasons unknown. I don't know why, because nobody in their right mind would bypass a real law to enforce a fake law and then go to court and lie about it and pretend otherwise, right? And then hey! One sec, guys. Hey, yo.
What up?
Don't use her driveway.
Don't do that.
She'll freak out.
Alright,
She's
I won't
got
do that again.
She's got, no, you're alright. I mean, she's just got an old man.
Yeah.
She's got a new boyfriend and shit. And
I know how they are.
he's from Inkster. He thinks he's a badass. And
More of them.
Yeah.
Alright, dope.
Yeah.
Alright, well I just got some like new bedding and shit. I got my girlfriend here. Is it alright if she comes in?
Dude.
No worries.
Of course.
Alright.
Of course. I'm not fucking.
We didn't talk about the whole gas situation, but I don't fuck with having a bunch of people over anyway. Appreciate it.
Whatever you want, So whatever. Back at it. Let's see here. I use the app on my phone. What fucking app is that? How many of these cops actually live in our city? Do you know that? I mean, you can FOIA it. I mean, I'm sure they're gonna be real, reluctant to give out that information. I'm sure they're probably gonna redact it, so you probably wouldn't know anyways. Even though I would think it would be public record. Well, I mean, your probably best bet would be to get their names of all of them, and then just do a public record search. I think that would be probably more appropriate, right? I think that'd be a lot more appropriate. So, yeah, I don't know. FOIA-ing it would be tough. It would be really tough. So, I wouldn't count on it. City of Wayne, dude. I got like 8 lawsuits I can file just in FOIAs, dude. I mean, it's wild shit, dude. It's wild shit, guys. I mean, I don't think you guys realize how busy I'm about to be. I don't think you guys realize just how much shit there is to do. I mean, there is so much shit to do. It's unreal. It's unreal, dude. I mean, I have so many FOIA appeals and denials and lawsuits I could file. It's fucking unreal. It is truly unreal, man. I mean, it's fucking, I don't know. I don't fucking know, guys. I don't fucking know. But that car sounded like it was about to explode that just pulled out of the driveway, so I don't fucking know. But yeah, that's like I said, it's a wild world out there, guys. Start to sprinkle a little bit, but that's all right. We're up for it. We're gonna pop a natty. We're gonna pop an Adderall, 5 milli. and we're gonna fucking go do some work out back. We're gonna finish drinking this Monster, finish smoking this CBD blunt, and we're gonna pop us a 5 milligram Addy, and we're gonna fucking go to town in the back. We're gonna bust out the fucking light if we have to. I'll do this shit in the dark, guys. You understand me? I don't give a fuck. I will do it right here, right now in the dark. Like Lyndon B. Johnson used to do with his penis hanging out. No, I'm just joking. I wouldn't do that. I'm not that fucking sick, but just to illustrate how demented and sick Democrats are. Lyndon B. Johnson. Yeah, look him up. Golfing with his penis out on the White House lawn. Sicko. Real sick fuck, right? But that's Democrats for you, as you should know by now. You should know just how fucked they are. And yeah, you know, praise God, praise Jesus, praise Allah, praise fucking, you know, God, right? The creator of the universe, right? Whether you call him Jehovah, Allah, Jesus, right? Praise our Lord, our Savior, the one true God of the universe, because he will help you every step of the way, guys, if you just believe, and you'll give him an opportunity. But it's really just belief and persistence and, you know, willpower, right? But, you know, God gives you that. God gives you the willpower. You might not always believe it. You might not always think it, but, you know, it's true. You're here for a reason, and I hope you find that reason, and I hope you cultivate that reason, and I hope you foster that reason, and I hope you continue to express that reason in all of your affairs, right? I don't know. I feel like if you're lucky to live long enough, right, you're gonna find your calling, or what really gets you going, right? What you really enjoy. And you know, I don't enjoy being in a courtroom. I don't enjoy lawsuits. I don't enjoy really fighting with anybody. You know, I enjoy trying to get shit done, and you know, speaking the truth. I enjoy that. But you know, I'm learning to love what I'm doing. You know, you know, it wasn't something I had envisioned in my life, but you know, it's something that, you know, hopefully you find whatever it is that you're looking for, and hopefully, you know, if you're fortunate, you'll find it, right? You'll find what you're looking for, or you'll find something that you never knew you were looking for. And so, you know, are things good or bad that have happened to me? Well, I mean, obviously, in a legal sense, very bad, right? But I mean, in a philosophical sense, not so much, because I think it exposed a bigger problem, right? I think it highlighted a bigger problem. I think Mark Blackwell and Anthony Miller, Abraham Hughes, and you know, John Zook's family and John Zook Jr. I mean, I think those certainly illustrated a lot, but I think my case really just, I mean, it made it undeniable, right? It made the truth highlighted to such an extent, right? The patterns and the retaliatory workplace of Wayne, and the culture, and, you know, everything about it, right? I mean, if you are a political dissenter, if you speak out, or, you know, get in the way too much, meddle around in their affairs, right, you're going to pay a price. And I think my cases, right, have illustrated that really tenfold, right? And so, I don't know. I mean, my intention when I moved to Wayne was to just, you know, be under the radar and live my life, raise my kids, raise my family, you know, fuck my wife, and have the time of my life. But, you know, I mean, still fucking my wife and shit, but, you know, a lot of that under the radar shit, well, that went out the window a month after I moved here. I mean, I guess I could have said nothing. I could have just been like, you know, just be a good old cuck boy, be a good old Mark Blackwell, glaze him, right, fawn over him. But I couldn't do that, guys. I mean, I can't do that. I mean, I really, I'm just incapable of lying like that. I mean, it really, I can't lie the way, I don't really think I can lie well at all, be honest with you. Because it's too much shit to remember. And it's just, I don't have a good memory, and my brain doesn't work like that. I have enough going on in my head that, you know, trying to remember lies and, you know, fabricating truth and, you know, like just how the city of Wayne operates. I'm incompatible with that, right? With that sort of status quo or that sort of standard or protocol. I don't have it in me to act that way. You know, to go along, to get along, and to say nothing, and to just be like, oh yeah, you know, I'm gonna be in my place here and just know my place, and you know, I just no. I'm just gonna speak the truth regardless of, you know, I guess the consequence, whether if it kills me or not. It probably will. Like I said, the city of Wayne, or they'll, you know, they'll stage something, right? They'll you know, false flags, right? All kinds of shit that the government does, right? Right, the government hires people to assassinate people, or the government will try to plausibly do it itself, right? They'll claim they got some intel that you're, you know, got a bomb or some, you know, some crazy shit, right? Some sort of plausible deniability that they can use to break in your house and, you know, beat the fuck out of you, and, you know, hopefully, you know, if there's a gun, right, anywhere within the vicinity, right, even if it doesn't matter if you have a permit or not, we've seen that time and time again, then you know, just perfect excuse to blow your brains out, right, to execute you and get rid of you. And okay, you know, the family's gonna make some money, okay, someone might be the fall guy, but problem solved, right? Problem fucking solved. So we know how this ends, how this operates, and how this goes. And Socrates himself found out. Jesus Christ himself found out. John Zook Jr. found out. You know, Alex Preddy found out. There's a lot of people that found out, right? I mean, you meddle around in the police state's affairs, right? You risk paying the ultimate fucking price, which is a bullet to the head, if you're lucky, because that's the humane way, right? Other than them just shooting you in the chest 5 times, and then you just slowly bleed out, right? Shooting you in the stomach and thighs and, you know, groin, and right, so you bleed out, right? So you know, get a nice death, right? A nice prolonged death, right? And then, or just, you know, so I mean, what I'm trying to say, guys, is you're not going to get very many opportunities to really put a fucking wedge in the system. And when you do get those opportunities, it's like with Trump, right? Like, say what you want about him, but like, hey, you know, he certainly was a bigger wedge to the system than a Jeb Bush would have been, or Ted Cruz, or Marco Rubio, or any status quo rhino or Democrat, right? Kamala Harris, Hillary Clinton, right? I mean, certainly a better choice and option than any of those worthless fucks. But, you know, Bernie Sanders, all that, you know, the Gibbs, right? But no, I mean, obviously not perfect, obviously could be doing a lot better, should be doing a lot better, but, you know, your power is diluted the higher up the food chain you go, right, in some ways, because, you know, there's just, you can't have a personal impact, a personal touch on people like you can on a local election. So I think these are more important in general, and I think these are much more important, right, long term, and especially, you know, in your day-to-day life, right, to be able to, right, hopefully, I mean, like I said, we want to change government structure, we want to amend our charter, we want to repeal ordinances, we want to do all that shit, if we're allowed to do it, that is, you know, then we'll definitely do it, and we'll definitely do right by the people of Wayne, what they actually fucking want, which is to pay lower taxes and be left the fuck alone, right? That's what the people of Wayne, Michigan want, collectively, by and large. The people of Wayne, Michigan, they want their government to be more efficient. They want their government to be more streamlined. They want their government to be more economical, right? They want their government to be more sensible, more efficient, more user-friendly. But most importantly, they want their government to protect and uphold their rights, right? They don't want to be harassed by their government. They don't want to be falsely petitioned by their government, right? Like, no, they want people, they want a government that knows their fucking place and knows their role, right? Their limited role, and stays the fuck out of everyone else's affairs, and, tries to promote a level playing field, right? Where you don't pick sides and buddies and, these buddies and them buddies. And, we don't have, big, large committees of bums that, just want to, make everything a bureaucracy and, make everything red tape and a buddy system. And, you got to go through, you got to go through the approved source, right? It's fuck that, right? We want an impartial government. We want a government that works for everybody. A government that stays the fuck out of your affairs, stays the fuck out of your business, stays the fuck out of your wallet, right? That's, can I repeat that, right? Staying the fuck out of their wallet, right? The government, the city of Wayne just reaches into your pocket fucking elbow deep and just pulls everything out, pulls the lint and everything. They put they put a hole in your pocket, right? They fucking, rip right through the fabric, right? Elbow deep in that motherfucker like it's a cookie jar, right? So, how many cops live in Wayne? Fuck, who knows? I mean, probably not many. They probably wouldn't want to live in Wayne, for one, because it's, it's got a lot of problems, a lot of things that need correcting. But, if I worked for the city of Wayne Police Department, I'd be embarrassed to live in the city of Wayne. That's my coworkers. That's what I go to work and represent and, cuck for every day. And glaze for, right? I got to glaze and cuck over that. Fuck that, dude. I couldn't do it. I mean, I know a paycheck is a paycheck, and it's a tough world out there, and but fuck, like, there's got to be more honest ways to make money than that, right? I mean, fuck. I mean, being a total welfare bum is more honestly, than what they do. I mean, if I got to just keep it 100 with you. Fuck, dude, I'd rather deal with a welfare recipient bum, right? A fucking con artist, right? I'd rather deal with that than whatever the city of Wayne is, right? And I'm serious. Like, I'd rather be around welfare recipient parasitic bums that have been on 6 generations of welfare, right? Than I would to even be in the same room with the city of Wayne department heads, right? It's not a legitimate city. It's really not. I mean, I don't know how else to put it to people. I know that offends people. Like, I'm sorry, but I'm not. I'm sorry, I'm not sorry. Right? I was just asking because you would think, I don't know if they still do that or not, but if you're going to be a cop in a city, you should be a resident. Yeah, I mean, in a perfect world, right? Anyone who's employed by the city should have to work in the city, right? In a perfect world, right? Everyone who's involved with the city of Wayne, it should be a requirement. I mean, there should be that, and then it should be, I don't know, we'll say at least 20% of the government, of the the public, right, needs to be comprised of veterans, right? The more veterans, the better, because you're gonna get a more honest, impartial product, right? You're gonna get people that actually like put the Constitution first and like actually read it and actually understand it. And it's really not hard to understand. It's really common fucking sense. If you lived in America, you went to public school, it's pretty basic shit. You should all pretty much know this shit by now. And it's not rocket science, right? It's really not. Basically, the Constitution can be summed up in just a few sentences, right? Leave people the fuck alone, stay out of people's affairs, and engage in civil discourse, right? Civic discourse, if you have a disagreement. But basically, popular sovereignty wins out. Stay the fuck off of people's properties. Stay away from people's private lives, and just live and let live, right? I mean, that's basically the Constitution in a nutshell. And respect people's privacy, treat their house as a sanctuary, promote the dominion and sanctity of their home, right? In other words, the government doesn't need to be doing things that erode trust in the public, right? And the public shouldn't erode trust in the government, right?
shouldn't erode trust with taxpayers, right? They shouldn't be doing things like, state-sanctioned, state-sponsored break-ins, right? Warrantless break-ins, things like that. That kind of erodes public trust. And, really, it's a safety. You want to talk about a safety hazard. I mean, people see somebody rummaging around in their backyard uninvited, and I don't know, things can go south really quick, right? So, I mean, that's just stupid, right? That's just moronic, right? That's just, a liability, right? You can avoid that, like, simply by, outsource. Like I said, I don't believe at this point, unless you have a complete and total and utter makeover of the city of Wayne, right? If you don't have, the police, fire, everything's got to be revamped from the inside out. If that doesn't happen, then there's no point in even trying to waste your time trying to make it happen. Your best bet's just to contract it out and be done with it. And, I think that's long-term the goal. Shrinking the size of government, right? I believe wholeheartedly in making government as small and as ineffective and as anemic as humanly possible. Right, well, it's efficient, right? I want a government that's efficient, that's streamlined, that works for the public interest, right? I want a government that, knows its place, right, essentially, right? Knows its role and doesn't try to, act outside of its role, doesn't try to do too much, doesn't try to take on the world, right? Doesn't try to solve everybody's problems by forcing themselves upon you, right? Molesting you, right? I want a government that's terrified of the people. I want a government that is fucking petrified of even offending the people. But I want a government that's impartial. I want a government that's equal and equitable and consistent and fair and impartial, and basically a government that stays the fuck out of my business and stays the fuck out of my way, right? And doesn't pick sides, doesn't pick favorites, doesn't promote, certain businesses over others. And, no, we just want literally common fucking sense, right? Common fucking sense. And unfortunately, it's not too common anymore because common sense, in order to have common sense, you have to have brutal honesty, right? You have to make honesty the forefront of everything you do. Otherwise, you're just, pissing in the wind, essentially. And done it a few times, it don't work out too well, right? Don't work out too well. But yeah, the blue line, the blue thin line pocket pussy, we're gonna have that ordered and made, and definitely want to. I think we need to have a mask, right? Have you guys seen Porter Dubs on YouTube and Facebook? Right, he's got the Baraka pussy, Dilderly Clinton, right? Dilderly Clinton, and the Baraka pussy. So yeah, I think we need to have the Jeremy Schneider fire marshal, Schneider. We need to have some sort of Schneider pussy, right? A fire pussy. We need to have something, right? With a nice red thin line pocket pussy as the mouth, right? But we need to get like a mask of the fire marshal or the chief of police or deputy or fire marshal or fire chief, whoever, right? Who's ever responsible, Bosnick or Miller, right? We need to get, like I said, there's a thin blue line pocket pussy, right? Because it's the bootlicker, right? Or we can give out the bootlicker award, right? To the biggest bootlicker in the city, right? Who's the biggest bootlicker? Well, who's the biggest glazer, right? The Glazer Award. Glazing the police, right? They can do no wrong. Everyone's just so perfect. Everyone's just doing such a great job. That's why everything sucks, because they're doing such a great job. Well, I'd hate to see what their non-great job is, because holy shit, you can't keep up a great job forever, right? Eventually, you're going to plateau and have dips, and that's just how, unless you're, like I said, I don't think, based on what I'm seeing on the council, I don't think any of those people are capable of much of anything. I don't think they're capable of much of anything. Certainly not physically, right? Rob Darwich, he's a juice head, right? He's the exception, right? He's the one extreme to the other, right? Morbidly obesity to, juice head. So we got everything in between, and I don't know. It's just what am I looking at, other than a clown show, shit show, parasitic nightmare. unfortunately, you cannot protect your property. So even if somebody's taking your shit in your backyard, you can't do much by law. Oh, well, no, not necessarily. I mean, it just depends on where they're at. You know, if they're in the curtilage, if they're inside the house, if they're in the curtilage, you certainly have a right to confront that person. I mean, do you have a right to just start shooting? I mean, that's gray area for sure. I would generally advise against that, but you know, CPL insurance, right? Have CPL insurance and carry a couple policies if you have to, right? Just make sure you're covered, and you know, I mean, let the chips fall where they're falling, right? But no, I mean, generally, like I said, just, you know, run up on them, confront them. What the fuck you doing? What are you here for? You know, because at some point, yeah, it can become very much a deadly force scenario, right? Every case is different, guys. Let me put it that way. Every case is different. The facts of each case are different. You know, obviously being in a detached garage versus being in a attached garage, right? That makes a difference. And it depends on, you know, depends on everything. Depends on your history, right? If you have, you know, a well-documented history of abuse, like someone's been abusing you like the city of Wayne has, and then they just show up in my backyard, well, I mean, I don't know. At some point, you know, it becomes like it's deadly. It's a deadly threat, right? I mean, it's an imminent threat. I mean, it's a credible threat. It's, you know, you don't have to, you know, like, you basically say fucking leave immediately, or there's going to be some fucking problems here. There's going to be some severe problems, right? And I'm not saying just start blasting somebody, but you know, you certainly on your own property, you can you know, you can get in somebody's personal space, right? If they're on your property trespassing, you have every right. You have every right as a homeowner to get into their personal space and to make them uncomfortable and to say, hey, what the fuck are you doing here? Get out of here, right? And you know, you don't have to call the police. You're not obligated to call the police. The police are not obligated to protect you anyways, right? The Supreme Court's already ruled that time and time again. The police are under no obligation to even help you or to assist you, right? If they want, if they choose to, right? I mean, it's up to them, right? They have discretion. So, you know, you don't have to call the police, right? You can, I mean, obviously I'd record what's going on, but, you know, you just tell them to fucking leave. And if they don't leave, well then, you know, things can get escalated. But I wouldn't, you know, like I said, I'd make sure you have insurance. Make sure you have insurance. Because, yeah, I mean, if you're in a self-defense scenario in Michigan, yeah, unfortunately, you're going to have to, you know, plead self-defense. And, you know, that's going to be a big deal and a big case. And, you know, because the state of Michigan is not going to let a good case go to waste, right? So the city of Wayne's not, no police department, no judicial system is going to let a good case go to waste, right? So if it's a controversial subject, if there's money to be made from it, if we can run everyone through the ringer and, you know, turn it into a spectacle, then they absolutely will. They absolutely will, because they only care about money. And, you know, self-defense should be pretty cut and dry. Hey, you're somewhere you're not supposed to be, and, you know, you were told to get the fuck on and you didn't, and then so, you know, shit happens, right? You fuck around, you find out. It should be pretty much cut and dry. I mean, stand your ground, castle doctrine, you know, pretty simple concept, right? Like, hey, this is my house, this is my curtilage, this is my home. The Fourth Amendment, I have rights to, you know, not be invaded by the government or anyone for that matter. And if someone's, you know, trying to break into your house, I mean, that's deadly force, right? That's an imminent threat, right? You don't know what that person's intentions are. You don't have to know, right? You know, and if you have history, right, where the person's documented history of violating your rights or abusing you, I mean, if you're breaking into my house, I'm asking questions after the fact, right? I'm not taking any fucking chances. I have 2 children in this house. I have women in this house. Elderly people. I have every type of person in my house, and I got elderly neighbors on both sides, and you know, I'm obligated to protect everyone around me, and so I'm not taking any fucking chances. And I, you know, have a right to protect myself too, right? I have a right to, defend my property, defend my home, defend the sanctity of my home, not allow people to break into my house, right? Just, oh yeah, I'm just gonna break into your house. Like, no, you're not. You're definitely not. So, at some point it becomes just a pattern of misconduct, and at some point it becomes undeniable, and you have a right to be secure in your person's property and possessions, right? Your papers, right? You have a right to be secure in your home, and you have a right to privacy. You have a right to sanctity. You have a right to dominion in your home. You have a right to, privacy. You have a right to everything. You have a right, and I know there's some liberal, parasitic judges out there. Trust me, I know. But no, absolutely. I mean, your car, that's different because that's treated separately from your house. But I mean, I would make the argument, right, as, non-lawyer, but I'd make the argument that, destroying someone's car, I mean, that could be catastrophic. I mean, that could be a life changer for somebody. That could kill somebody, right? That could interfere with someone's ability to work and to provide for their family. And then, now there's, homeless and starving and, whatever. So no, I absolutely disagree with that premise, but I understand, that, you'll be vilified for defending your property. You'll be vilified for defending your home, for sure. Certain people certainly will. And the state will not let a good case go to waste. So that's very true. So my argument to that would be, make sure you have insurance, and make sure you're well versed in the law, and make sure you make sure you pray, right? Make sure you pray. And I don't know. I don't got all the answers, but I do know that enough is enough, and people have to collectively rise up. And schools, of course, don't teach you what jury nullification is, even though every human being on earth, every United States citizen should be forced to know what jury nullification is, because that is the ultimate checkmate against, tyranny in the United States, is jury nullification. So, they don't teach it in school. They don't teach it in society. It's a naughty word, right? The courts won't let you, inform a jury about it, right? Because God forbid, right? God forbid, right? The people could reject tyranny, right? God forbid. One person said, nope, fuck you, you're scumbag, piece of shit, jury nullification. Nope. So, yeah, that's something that needs to be taught, right? In Wayne, right? I'm going to make that I'll propose that, right? That's something that needs to be taught in public schools, in Wayne Westland public schools. Jury nullification. If you're ever on jury duty and you ever feel that, a law is unjust, or, fuck the law in that particular case, the law is wrong, right? And, a particular case is wrong, and, you have a right to nullify it. You have a right to say, nope, fuck you. So, needs to be taught in school, needs to be prevalently taught in school, and, everyone needs to know what jury nullification is. So, jury nullification is a big deal. It's a very, should be used sparingly, right? I mean, it shouldn't be used, right, to let people off, right, that deserve it, right? But there's cases where the government maliciously prosecutes somebody, or Luigi, right? Luigi, there's talks about jury nullification for that, and so there's an argument to be made, right? First of all the discovery issues, right? But besides that, right, let's assume he did, 86, the United Healthcare CEO. I mean, tit for tat, right? I mean, at some point you got to go, well, I mean, look at all the people that you've killed and, prematurely put in their grave and refused to cover, and, the inhumanity of it, right? Making, tens of billions a year is not enough, and, more is more, and greed is, absolute. And yeah, I mean, there's an argument to be made. I mean, there's a moral argument. I mean, I don't necessarily think, but I can see it. I mean, I'm 50-50 on it. I understand somebody was 86, but I mean, again, some things are for greater causes, for greater messages, and free Luigi, right? So normally I'm, obviously not for any of that behavior, but that's why jury nullification exists, guys, for that particular reason. Because is Luigi a threat to any other person in humanity? I don't think so. I think Luigi made a statement, and the statement was clear, and I bet you they started approving more claims after Luigi. So I mean, he probably saved more lives than he took, allegedly. So I don't know, guys. I mean, it's hard. It's obviously, murder is a deadly sin, and I'm against committing deadly sins, but unfortunately, let's just put it this way: human beings can be rather hard-headed, and don't. Those in power don't like to listen to the mere peasants, to the mere mortals. Right? They don't like to listen to us because I don't know, reasons unknown, or reasons you're not allowed to know, or I don't know what's the way to word it, right? I mean, how do you word it? But I've been firing on all cylinders tonight. I've been feeling pretty good. I've been feeling all right. So I don't know how much work I'm gonna get done tonight. I didn't really get much done today. This fucking rain, man. It's just making me not want to get up and do nothing. But I gotta stop being a little bitch. I mean, it's just that simple. Sometimes you just gotta stop being a little bitch, guys. You get in your little bitch ways sometimes. We all do. Donald Quarles, though. Good luck in the election. Good luck in your BMI and your cholesterol, too. I sincerely mean that, buddy. We want you to be around for a long, long time, but I mean, if I was a betting man, I'd take the over on that. I'd take the over on it. But yeah, we'll be in touch, guys. Love you, love you.